I was totally emotionally unprepared for the reality of life, for like, seriously, for having to go on auditions and get rejected and having to bartend for a living to try to pay the bills and try to pay my rent and to struggle to try to make this thing happen. You spend so much time avoiding failure and when you're trying to avoid failure, instead of trying to find success, you do everything you can to avoid putting yourself on the line. So this is a key thing, because it's very similar to probably what a lot of your listeners go through when it comes to things like call reluctance, or I don't want to do a launch, or I don't want to roll out my new offer, I don't want to talk to a potential client. There's moments in your life where you're putting yourself in a position where someone can say no. And if to you failure means that it's the end of the world and that you're not good enough and you're not talented and no one loves you and you suck, pretty soon that's what you're going to do. You're going to do anything you can to avoid being in those situations. And so I would spend all my time going like, oh, dude, I need to get an audition. I need to get an audition. I need to get an audition. And then I would get one and I would be terrified to go. The ability to process failure and understand what it means and integrate the lessons of failure, that's the most important thing you can have as an entrepreneur, I think. And so few people have it. And that's a lesson that really you need to learn very quickly if you don't know how to do that, because failure is inevitable. Well, the first thing to remember is it's not about you. That was the first thing that really needed to get through my head, is that, I needed to shift my entire focus as a business owner from making sales and promoting myself, and shifting the focus to serving the client. My job is not to get someone to yes. My job is to serve them to the truth, to get to the truth of what's really going on. And if the truth is that they need my help and I can help them and I want to help them, then the enrollment happens almost automatically. But sometimes, the truth is something else. I can't help them, in which case I have to turn them down or whatever. But I shifted the focus from focusing on making the sale to serving the client. And when we did that, our enrollments, went through the roof. The biggest breakthroughs in my life have come when I've burned my ships and said, this is the new way of doing it. Because maybe if I had those other things going, I wouldn't have figured the things out that I figured out. And I wouldn't have figured them out as quickly as I figured them out. And there wouldn't have been that sense of urgency, because I would have still had some sort of financial cushion. When I decide that I'm just straight up not going to do something anymore and do something new, it's best to just dive the hell in. If you're setting yourself some giant, scary ass goals, you're going to run into some giant, scary ass challenges. And you need to go in understanding that, hey, that's what you signed up for. But the truth is that there's no problems, there's no failures, there's only opportunities. And when you really believe that, you can deal with failure in a much more resourceful way, because something goes wrong and immediately you start looking for, okay, well, what's the opportunity here? You're going to get punched in the face a lot. Now, you're going to do everything you can to avoid that. You're going to learn how to dodge and bob and weave and everything like that. But every single one of those punches to the face is telling you, hey, man, you need to improve your game, don't you? And that's exactly what's going to make you a better boxer. And it's exactly what's going to make you an entrepreneur. It's understanding challenges and failure for what they really are. They are opportunities in disguise. And every failure we've ever had has resulted in so many new discoveries and breakthroughs that if we hadn't had those challenges come up, we never would have figured those things out. The big, bright, shiny object is always going to be more attractive. Always. But you've got to run the numbers and say, okay, look, what if I just did this tiny little easy thing? So a big misconception that people have, Michelle, is they think that for us to go from doing, let's say, $100,000 a month to $1 million a month, that the way that we did that was by generating 10 times more leads and spending 10 times more on advertising. That's not what we did. We're spending pretty much the same on advertising now as we were before. I mean, a little bit more, maybe twice as much. But we've increased our sales 10 to 15 times. And the way we've done that isn't by chasing some brand new object. It's by looking at every piece of our business model and just getting a little bit better at it. So people talk a lot about gratitude, and they go, well, be grateful for what you have. It's okay, well, I'm grateful for this Taco Bell that I'm about to eat. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for whatever, whatever it is. But the real secret of gratitude is to see the things you want to achieve as an already accomplished fact. And that's the secret of like visualization and all these things, is to think about what you want as it's already done. And what that means is that you let yourself feel all the gratitude and all the joy and all the thrill and the wonder that you would feel if you were doing $1 million a month in your business. And when you do that, I don't know how it works. I don't care. It's like short circuits your subconscious somehow, where your subconscious goes, wait a minute, I already was thankful for that thing and it's not here. Let me go make that happen right now. And when I started incorporating that into my daily practice of visualization and stuff, it's like, holy shit, my life just took off. Where now it's like, I'm so confident in my own power to create the exact life and business that I want, because I've proven it to myself over and over and over again. And that's the secret.